What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Therapist Lounge. I'm a therapist through games, and today we're going to be talking about what should have been 2020's Game of the Year. We're talking about Ghost of Tsushima, a game that was released on the PlayStation 4 in 2020 and re-released for the PlayStation 5 in 2021 that included downloadable content as well. The game was developed by Sucker Punch and published by Sony. The Ghost of Tsushima is an open-world action-adventure hack-and-slash game that takes place in the year 1274 during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima, which was based on a real event in history. In this game, you play as protagonist Jin Sakai, who is a samurai to his core, raised on the principles of what it means to be a true samurai. Now, without spoilers, this game is about Jin fighting to stop the Mongol invasion after all of the samurai were wiped out on Komara Beach. The gameplay features your typical open world formula where you take on quests from different people around Tsushima and you complete missions that were given to you, and you obtain new weapons, increase notoriety around the island, and you learn new skills. Now, you ride around the island on a horse, and as the game goes on, you become more powerful by unlocking new abilities. Now, the visual representation of this game is absolutely amazing. The characters look realistic. The setting was very well done, capturing the essence of what Japan looked like during that time. The music, the soundtrack was very well done. The studio has even gone on record noting the research that went into making this game feel as realistic during that time as possible, including the landscape, the buildings, the clothing, the weapons, just everything of what that time looked like. Now, in regards to the game's performance, the user interface and the gameplay mechanics were very well done. With enough practice, you're able to control your character and make them do whatever it is you want that comes to your mind. You know, if you want to slash over here, roll over there, jump, slash, assassinate, you can do a bunch of things, and everything just feels absolutely seamless. And so now we are going to, let's consider this your spoiler warning. We are going to take a deeper dive into the story and just talk about how this story developed and what made it so great. So consider this your spoiler warning. I'm going to put the time on the screen that you can jump to my closing thoughts. Here we go. Now, while I'm describing this story, I'm going scriptless here. I'm going to just flow with the way this story goes. So, the story starts off with Jin Sakai, his uncle, Lord Shimura, and Lord Adachi getting the samurais ready to face the Mongol invasion. Now, there was only 80 samurai, and it was thousands of Mongols. So keep in mind, this part really happened. This was based on a true story. The Mongols pull up. Adachi challenges. He goes up to them and he challenges. He says, "Send me your best warrior." And the Mongol leader walks up. Adachi wants to, do a head-up fade, fight with honor, and the Mongol leader douses him with some type of liquid and then just sets him on fire. That sets off the war. All the samurai run up and get done up. Okay, they get absolutely annihilated. Just when we think our main guy was about to die, he passes out and he wakes up in just random location in the cut. And he's wondering, how did I get here? And he finds out that this lady named Yuna saved him, dragged him off the battlefield, nursed his wounds, nursed him back to good health. And they basically stop the invasion in that particular area. He goes, he finds his sword, he is able to fight off the people that pretty much destroyed that area. I'm talking, they were just wiping people out. Okay, wiping people out. And so as the game goes on, you are trying to they capture your uncle. Lord Shimura has been captured, and you and Yuna make your way to Castle Kaneda, where he was taken. Now Yuna tells Jin, hey, I need you to help me save my brother. He's like, well, I need you to help me save my uncle. He said, I will help you save your brother after we save my uncle. So she's like, all right. So they go to the castle. Jin gets absolutely destroyed, gets his ass whooped by the Khan, the Mongol leader, and knocked off a damn bridge, and he lands in the water, and as he crawls his way back to shore, he just seems absolutely depleted. He meets back up with Yuna, and they basically plan out how they are going to stop this invasion. So Jin agrees to help her rescue her brother, because her brother can help him make a grappling hook that will allow him to scale the walls of the castle, so that he could sneak into the castle instead of going, just going straight through the front gate, which seems crazy. And so from there, as Jin is trying to rescue her brother, she teaches him about striking from the shadows, because she told him, she's like, hey bro, if you walk through that front gate, they're going to start killing prisoners. And so for the first time, Jin had to do something that had no honor. And he even had a moment where, he tries to let her know, like, hey, like this isn't honorable. And she was like, that honor is going to get people killed, so the game takes off from there. And he basically, as he's going through, step by step, he has to stray from the conventional samurai way, because it's basically suicide, going head up when it's 1 against 100, you're not going to win that. So he learns that he has to do different things in order to get the job done. He starts sneaking around. He's assassinating people. He's stabbing people in the back. He's stabbing people in the neck. He's using items that he shouldn't. And word of this gets back to Lord Shimura, where, Lord Shimura learns that Jin Sakai is still alive, and the Mongol leader is saying things like, I hear, that your nephew is out there doing things that you really wouldn't be proud of. My men tell me that they're finding their comrades stabbed in the back. That's not the samurai way. And so, Lord Shimura is sitting in his cell, like, what the hell is going on out there? So you rescue Yuna's brother. He gets you the hook you need. You break into the castle. You free Lord Shimura. He's happy to see you. He's like, okay, now that I'm back, hopefully we can get you back on the samurai path. You haven't lost your way. We can do this. Boom. So the next mission after that is to go and take back Shimura's castle, right? So you do all these side quests and stuff. And I forgot to mention, as you're preparing to rescue Lord Shimura, you're recruiting allies, Sensei Ikasawa, Lady Adachi, whose husband was the dude that got set on fire at the beginning. You also recruit a monk. Damn, what's my monk homie name? It escapes me right now. But fast forward back to it. So you guys take over. You guys lead the charge to take back Castle Shimura, and during that time, Lord Shimura's decisions cost countless more samurais that they got from reinforcements that they got from the shogun. Lord Shimura made a decision that got a bunch of the samurais killed, and Jin was like, What the hell, man? He wasn't happy about that. So Lord Shimura was like, we will rebuild the bridge and we'll strike again. Jin's like, nah, man, more people gonna get killed. So Jin sneaks over the castle, poisons the Mongols, and this set Lord Shimura off. Lord Shimura was highly disappointed in Jin, and this started a real rife between Lord Shimura and Jin Sakai. And keep in mind, while all this is happening, before Lord Shimura is telling Jin that he wants to adopt him as his son. You know, they were very close and he wanted to adopt him as his son. But as he's seen Jin doing all this stuff, it starts driving a wedge, because Lord Shimura, follows the samurai code. Jin's like, this code ain't working. It's going to get us killed. And unfortunately, because of what happened, the shogun considered Jin an outlaw. Lord Shimura had to lock him up, and one of Jin's friends helps him break out, and then that starts the path of him doing things on his own. Keep in mind, during all this time, as Jin is taking out all these Mongols and everything, he's starting to become known throughout the island as the Ghost. And it's something that he starts to embrace, because he's like, if that story is what's keeping the Mongols on their toes, he's just gonna go with it. So after that, Jin goes his separate way. He does what he's doing. The samurais, are frowning upon his actions, and they basically get to the point where they're ready to stop the Mongol leader. And so before he does that, Jin goes and he sneaks into his uncle's castle and leaves his uncle a note saying, hey, listen, tomorrow we're gonna fight the Mongols. I would love for you to be there for me. If not, it's all good. So he goes, the next day they prepare, and then they start the attack on the Mongols, and the samurai show up and everything, and it's quite the battle, and Jin Sakai wins. And after that, he finds out his uncle would like to talk to him. He talks to his uncle. He finds out that his uncle has been given the task to kill Jin, and his punishment is to bring the shogun Jin's head as his punishment for his nephew going this far rogue. So you fight your uncle as the final boss, and after you defeat him, you have the option to kill your uncle or let him live and you never see him again. The choice is yours. And then after that, Jin just goes off as a loner and a drifter. His homegirl Yuna said, I'll see you around. And that's it. So guys, what a dope story. A story that goes from a hero and then considered an outlaw, all because he did what it took, any means necessary, to save his people and rid the island of the Mongols. And it cost him his relationship with everyone. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Did you guys play this game? I'm sure if you sat through my story analysis, you did. If you didn't, and you love what you heard and you want to hear it for yourself, I say you go for it, damn it, because this should have been the game of the year in 2020, but I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's because Naughty Dog and them are the top dogs. They, got votes that I personally believe they didn't deserve. So anyway, curious to know your thoughts. If you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate you. You rock with me, and I'll see you next time here at the Therapist Lounge. Peace.